Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. This is the spring update and we are going strong. Look at this budget, 1.3 billion, and we're making real good profit all the time. This is my threading the needle exercise over here. Let's quickly see this train getting through it. That is a pretty easy one. This is, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Oh, autosave. I thought, what's going on? Autosave. That's fine. Let's speed it up. Yep, there we go. All good. I think that will work fairly well, especially kind of slowing down to get into the station over here. Oh, what is this train doing? New Haven, Fort Worth passengers. So this one doesn't actually stop at Vancouver? Oh, I didn't remember. I didn't. Come on. That's an interesting maneuver. Okay, so there we go. Direct connectivity then, 80 passengers. So it also is starting to pick up a little bit in terms of its passenger stream. So, and not too bad then. Food is starting to run in quite nicely. We're meeting that demand at 100%. One of the things that we do need to get over here is Corporate Quarry. We do need to bring in some construction materials, though that's not our top priority at this minute. I would like to see... Oh, what did that drop off? What did that drop off? Did that drop off? What could it have dropped off? Fuel? Must have been fuel. Nothing to fill it up with, I can see. There we go. And this guy is still not doing anything in terms of demand, right? Not moving anything. So I think the next thing for us to do is to see about connecting these things up before we start losing this. There's no quarry. There's a quarry over there. So we could be running construction materials back that way too. In which case there will be a need to stop at Vancouver on the way back. All together. Oh, before I do that. In the last episode, I hooked this thing up and never actually got around to putting a train on the line. And this is now kind of where I'm wondering whether we put in place finally put in place another. Yeah, so this is Corpus Christi running down through here. Whether we finally put in place another bit of a depot in this spot here that kind of feeds in directly there. I think that's about right. So let's get ourselves a rail depot. Of course, if we do it here somewhere, well, what we do is we turn it even more so it can quite comfortably go in both directions. So let's place it there. I think that's not a bad spot for it. This, however, will probably end up turning out, something like that. So from here, what I'd like to do is tie in with that one. Yeah, that's all good. And at the same time, probably do one of those. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. That's going to be all good. That will allow it to pop into any of these things and move on out. Yeah, that'll work. We can get it on the line there. That's pretty good. I see this Vancouver is growing pretty nicely. So let's add a few pieces of road here. Ooh, and I kind of have the idea. Could we widen that road a little bit? Probably not. So think it's a little something like that. And then I thought what we'd do is we'd go about hugging this facility here. Then we turn it back in. Yeah, so something like this. Then from this guy, I'll just run this guy dead straight. Best we can. And probably just do that. There we go. So there's a bit of an expansion of town facilities. Shall we Now we do a bit of this. I don't mind that too much. And a bit of that. And now I think we'll go ahead and tie it in over there. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let's do the upgrade here. And before we get too comfy, let's get that upgrade sorted. I think that's about appropriate as is there. Yeah, that's all good. So we'll give Vancouver a little bit of an extra area to grow into. Not sure we necessarily want to tie that one in, but what we could do is actually hug this thing. That would actually be pretty cool. Give me a little bit of a curve going. No. Third of a smaller road, to say the least. Well, that is probably a little bit more appropriate that it goes the other way then. Yeah. And then I'm playing a little bit of a city builder thing here now. Give me a bit of a straight section there. A bit of a straight section through there. Straight section down that way. Yeah, I like that idea. Now we'll go ahead and curve these together. Yeah, that's all good. That's all good. And this one can just gonna go straight in there. There we go. We do a little bit more straight this way. Then and a lot more straight that way. Yes, there we go. And then we can just curve these in. Look at that. There we go. A bit of a ring road concept for Vancouver to now start working towards filling things in a little bit. I like this quite a lot. And to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, probably worth us going and doing the upgrade all the way there, so that we've got a bit of a proper big street connection through this one. And I'm also tempted to do a very similar thing over here, though noting that this will be a bit of a challenge. Wow, that's pricey. 3 will be removed. Yeah, to try and fix this. Well, let's do it now. Get it all done with. It'll grow back, but at least now we've got a pretty decent pieces road structure section through here, which I don't mind. I think this is Vancouver is one of those that's actually quite nicely defined now. So we'll see how that continues to grow. Anyway, that's good. Now we've got this up and running, so now we can actually put a bit of a line in place. Multiple lines actually. Just thinking about this. We will actually there's the connection. So let's go rural, and let's do a bit of an upgrade through there, a bit of an upgrade through this one, up here, over there, over that way. And what we'll do is we'll tie it in right over here. Just go and do a bit of this. Nice, tie that together and tie in. Now we've got some road connections leading all the way back through here. Let's do that upgrade through that section. Now there is a pretty decent road connection for all of these. So let's start setting up some trucks. Right now, getting this one, I think this will be a pretty decent setup. So that is going to be, well, this is for Vancouver, right? So this is van, wheat. It's grain, actually. It's not wheat. It's van grain 1. Van grain 1. And this will be van grain 2. Excellent. I like it. Van grain 2. Nice. Like that one. Like that one as well. And that is it. So now let's get some vehicles out over there. We will buy them in this location. So for grains, I'm thinking, what are we doing? That's a 21. 4 times. I'm just going to run the man trucks, to be honest. So let's do, let's just start with 6 for each of the van, each of those lines. So this will be van grain 1. Okay. 5 more vehicles. Another 6 of them. And these will go to van grain 2. Perfect. Okay, so now we'll get grains on that line. Now we need to run the this line. So we'll say there to there to here and back. Yeah, that's it. Van grain train. We'll go, yep, okay, so this will be called van grain train. Van grain train. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. And what we will need to do is just give me the van grain train piece again. Okay, and what I'd like us to do is from the Worcester annex, where you can please do whichever you want. Go to Vancouver in Terminal 1, please. Yes, there we go. There we go. And then you go to Vancouver Transfer. Here, where I think you just go and stick it in at go into number 2. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. Well, the question then, we don't use the same. So let's just leave that as is, van grain train. And then if I come in over here and have a quick look at our cargo wagons. So the gondola takes grain, but the boxcar takes food. So yes, it's going to be more efficient for us to just run 2 separate trains there. So let's grab a train for the van grain train. Electric, diesel. Shall we run a diesel? So we'll run this guy 105, or do we want to run it electric at a little bit quicker? Well, it's not the quickest, but we can get 120, right? We can get 120. Shall we do? Yeah, shall we just do that? What's the diesel one? It's going to cost us the same to run it anyway. These are much cheaper though. There are some of these that's quite a fair bit cheaper, but these are obviously much stronger. I think I'm going to run this guy on a yellow kind of color. Well, maybe that's too bright yellow. Let's do something like that. Ooh, that's hideous. The blue, that kind of blue style is a little bit more appropriate. So let's try that. Oh, look at that. That's going to be really nice. And then if we go with the cargo wagons as gondolas, our biggest gondolas, blue gondolas, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is the one. I think we went for 320 meters. So look at this train. Look at this train, guys. It's an enormous train with a massive capacity. I like it. And buy. This train is going to be the van grain train. I like it. Where is it? Van grain train? I just want to see the length of this thing. Look at that. I think it should be even threading the needle like that. Awesome. That's a massive train, and it's going to start picking stuff up straight away. Does that fit in our station here? Oh, yes, it fits in that station. So that's good. Oh, these things are pretty close, though. I may, you know what? Before we get into trouble here, I'm just gonna move that that thing a little bit further away, especially if we decide to potentially extend this. Let's just do it somewhere over here. Here we go. So do that, so at least we don't get stuck with this. But that means these other ones won't necessarily work either. But that's all good. I think this thing, let's see. Well, be able to get an enormous amount of food being produced from this. Yeah, it would have been in trouble there. There we go. Now we're close to being full. Oh, crap. Oh, it's going to use this one. Anyway, we'll have to get through this one first, and then I think what I'll do is I think what is happening, this isn't quite working. So this one will have to switch over. So it loaded up even more, and now it's going in. How much is it carrying? 161. So it's half. It's got half its capacity. So we really need to ramp that up. And then this guy will have enormous amounts being dropped off here now. Okay, this is going to be a problem. $2.7 million. Okay, I need to switch this thing out over there and just make sure that we actually do it over there. Now it should work. How much do I have waiting here? Not a lot. These guys need to ramp up their productivity a fair bit, I think. Okay, but anyway, that's going to start looking pretty good. Now, give me a little shunt train to bring it back and forth into this section. That's all that I want to do. A little shunt train for that. So I'm kind of thinking, let's just set up the line first. So grab that. You're going to go from here, right, into here, whichever one. Actually, in Vancouver sidings, whatever is available is okay. And the same with the other one. Whatever is available is okay. The other on that side, you just want number 1. So let's just see. Yeah, that's perfect. So this one, can't get this train to be too long, but it doesn't really matter. So this is going to be the van food train. The van food train. Beautiful. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll buy a vehicle. So again, I'm going to go with the diesel. So we're going to go with not the gondola, but with the boxcar instead. But what we'll do is let's just have a look. The diesel one by itself, I think, is going to be sufficient. We don't need a super duper train here, right? But potentially this guy is going to be pretty easy going. If we go electric, just to make sure we don't have the craziest emissions, I think that guy, 3,300 kilowatts of power and 516 tractive effort. And if we take it to this guy, that's if effectively the same thing, isn't it? Ooh, there's another refinery at Elizabeth. We'll have a look at that. I'm going to go with this guy. This is going to be a food train, so I'll give it a bit of a food style coloring. We'll do something like this. Yeah, there we go. And then from a cargo perspective, we're going to obviously grab the boxcars. 240. I think that's going to be the max that we're going to do for now. Well, actually, that's at mediocre already. Well, it doesn't really matter for us. Let's go with that 200 food capacity. Let's start off with this guy. And we'll put that on the van food train. Run it out there, buddies. Waiting for a free path. Okay. I would have imagined you could... Oh, you can't actually get onto the other one. So that guy needs to clear out first. That is good. And then we should see a fair bit happening over here. And this thing would be able to level up substantially. These guys are at capacity now, right? Getting there. Not there yet. We obviously need to run more trucks here, I think. Because I think these trucks are... doing big loads. Autosave is happening here. It's still running on that side, which is not really what I had in mind, but doesn't matter at this stage. Does not really matter at this stage. So now this guy is starting to pick up food here. Nice. Now food going back on the line is pretty good thing here. Yeah, I do think what I'll do is that's the food one. I grab this guy, just want to manage the line as well. So at Vancouver sidings, please do either. Yeah, I think that's better. Just so that if there's a train in here, you can still come and pop in. And this won't affect at all. These guys are threading the needle. Oh, we're getting pretty close to being... We're filling up more and more, but I think we're at the maximum for these guys, right? They're, well, not even. We'll have to look at the rates and stuff to get that to work a little bit better. But there we go. So now we're getting food running through here at enormous rates. And I think what we can also do is now stop these kind of basic truck lines here. Okay, so let's grab these two lines, the van food line through there, manage the line, actually manage the vehicles first. So manage the food line, manage the vehicles, and just go ahead and sell all of them for me, please. And then the other line as well. Well, then what we can do is manage the line and delete the line. It was a temporary line. Now we're doing van wheat. We're going to go manage the vehicles, select all of them and dispose all of them, get that money back and grab the line, manage the line and delete the line. So with the line now deleted, that means now this will all go onto the train. And I think that's a pretty decent little food setup over there. So we'll see about how much food we can actually move. There's enormous amounts of food here. Going to drop off. There's going to be some tools being picked up, some food picked up. Didn't pick up any tools. Just have a look at this line. So at Vancouver, what can you pick up? You can load tools. So for what possible reason would you not be loading tools? Did we say, do we need more trains on the line? Is that just that food is more critical for us at this stage? Could be that that's what's happening. Okay, but all good. What's happening over here? Are we moving any of this yet? No, we're not moving any of that yet. So what we're seeing here is probably not quite worth our effort just yet. Oh, multiple refineries here, but probably we'll see about that. So we could... Now, the question here is, do I run something through here? And I think the answer is yes, I do. I think I run the train through here. It's obviously going to be a freight train. So the intent is... Wow, that could be quite interesting. If we spur it off into the middle... and then drop it into a tunnel. Oh, that would be so cool if we can do that. I'm quite tempted at trying something like that. Let's see. It doesn't have to be, yeah, well, it doesn't have to be quick through here either. Let's spur it off a little further away. If we do... Oh, wrong button. If we do something like that... And now the question is, can we drop it? Well, the question would have been, actually, let's forget about this first. Let's use that as the end point. Can we get a tunnel underneath here? And I don't mind which side of that thing you're on. So we could even tunnel it from somewhere over here to get it in and out. But can we get a tunnel from that side is kind of my question. So if we do this, right? I see. So the issue is you can't snap it. You won't be able to snap it and go up and down. That's the issue. And can we switch off snapping? No. So I don't think that's going to work as a concept, to be honest. That I don't think is going to work as a concept. We won't be able to come up in the middle here. That would have been pretty cool if we could do that. So could we cross it at any kind of point here? Could we do something like this? We could do something like that. Oh, something's happening. Where is this at? Show me. Ooh, this is interesting. Let's have a quick look. Game is paused for the time being. Why are you... Oh, you're actually being blocked. You should not have a signal here, I think. This whole thing should have no signals. So if we do that, I think what we'll do is we'll just flip you around, take you back in there. There we go. Now that's going to work way better. Okay, there we go. It was a pair of signals in there that shouldn't have been in there. It should all be part of that switch. Lots of food moving through here now. We should have absolutely everything in terms of food that we need. How much is being generated here? Yeah, we're moving a fair bit, but not quite close enough for any upgrades to happen. I want to go back to this. So this setup. And I think what we can obviously do is just put a station in here. I think we can just tie it in on that side. So yeah, if you tie it in, it does kind of jump out a little bit and it becomes a bigger issue. I want this to be, yeah, nice and wide. I mean, nice and long. I like that. I like that a lot. There we go. So now we've got that refinery nice and tucked in, touched directly onto that. Good stuff. So if I'm going to do a line, now the question really for me is, we could run it there, right? Or, you know what? You know what I'm thinking is, this is all oil-based stuff, right? So we could run a little, ooh, and there's a few of them over here as well. Yeah, so we may have to run a line there and a line here as well to see how that works. Okay. I think in the order of in order to maintain everybody's sanity here, what I'll do is I will add another set of passenger lines there. And then I'll put another platform of cargo on this side. So platforms, cargo platform. We'll grab ourselves one extra cargo platform on this side, which is where we'll basically run this through. So now there's a fair bit of capacity through this station. So that's decent. Now what we'll do is we'll kind of curve it out that way over on this side, and we'll curve it out on that side. Actually, it doesn't have to run through here if it doesn't have the fuel. Oh, beautiful. I think that is going to be awesome. So we'll do a little something that just runs directly from there to there. So let's set up this side, and I'm thinking, are we going on the outside instead? Yeah, I think so. I think we're going on the outside. So let's tie that one in over here. Can we make sure, is that going to connect to it? That's actually not too bad. So let's do that there. That's connected in on that side. I don't mind that as much. We're going to do a very similar thing out over here. Now, the question for me is, do we run here all the way around through there? Could. In which case, we'll give it another... I think that alignment through there is probably about right. There we go. A 200-kilometer-an-hour electric train. So that's pretty cool. Elizabeth Forest is going away. I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. We'll get those to tie in. And they will run around this way. And on the way back, it'll go through that way. We'll see. We'll see how we set it up. We'll still see how we set it up. We will also need to grab some oil. Ooh. Now, oh no, that's a refinery. Forget about that. Not using that refinery over here. That's... Question is, should we? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think let's just use whatever we've got over here. Grab me another one. It's maybe not the most efficient or effective form. I'm going to be very comfortable to kind of hug it right here. And then what I'll do is I'll move that piece of road out of the way. So I'm going to do that, and we'll kind of reconnect it over there. It's this guy, right? Yeah, this guy. All the way, nice and wide angle valve there. There we go. Tracks. Now, we will be probably doing that. Yeah, it's not bad. 110. We're probably not going to get close to running 110 through here. Okay, and we'll go around there at a pretty reasonable rate. We could then, of course, use this line to tie into some other stuff as well. Now, I think we're going to straighten it up a little bit like so. Yeah. And it's going to be a pretty straight. Ooh. That's not quite what I had in mind. But I must say, to be honest, I'm not necessarily opposed to bridging this. But it's probably not... You know what? Cancel that. Get rid of this. Pause it for a second while we quickly re-look at this thing. If we get that nice and high. Ooh, actually bridging it already. If we just do that, it starts bridging it. I don't necessarily want to... What? The fill is even more expensive than the bridge? Well, then we bridge it. It's as simple as that. But we do need to probably keep it nice and straight, though. That is quite simple. Now, the question is, are you actually going to be able to get underneath that? 90 kilometer an hour bridge, however, is not necessarily what I'm after. Yes, that looks quite nice. We'll probably have to dip it underneath there a little bit, but I am not opposed to this, and then we'll have a bit of a turn in there. There we go. That is all good. Then we'll have the next one. Awesome. Now let's quickly do this section a little bit back here. Didn't really want to do that. Give me. Okay, so we'll do so, and we'll tie that in there. How about that? And we can still do plenty of other areas there. That's pretty cool. I like that. That actually worked out quite well, and it's not even that pricey. Let's unpause again so things continue to move. Even that turn isn't too tight. It's not the best, but it's not too tight to run into there. Now this side of the spectrum here, yeah, that might be okay. We'll just go straight over here. There's a train in a poor condition, and we'll just go straight over there. Nice, that's all good. It's okay, those aren't too heavily utilized. Now, over here, we would like to run it all the way that way. What I'm going to do is we're going to see about what this looks like. We run that. Ooh. It tunnels through here, which I'm not opposed to, because tunneling through there means it's going to be really easy for this guy to run through here. I am not opposed to that at all. That works really well, and it's not that expensive either. So let's do the tunnel. Did I do the right side? Ooh, the only problem, though, it's not necessarily a problem. Go that way, and then this side comes back this way. I am quite interested in this. Let's see if we do this same thing from this side, right? And we get it to tunnel in here, right? Then it doesn't quite want to do that. So if we do, let's say we do it up to there. Oh, it just pops out straight away? Not quite what I had in mind. It's an interesting concept that it's trying to do here. It's just, if we do it up to there, right? Now from there you try and tie it in here. Oh, I like that. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. It means these guys can go over the top of it. There we go. How about that? So that's quite an interesting. That's going to be quite an interesting setup. Now let's get the rest of this side going. There we go, and it goes out into that direction. But look at that. That's a pretty awesome setup. And this guy will now just go and run straight out of here. We'll just get rid of the road and make the road do something slightly different. But that's awesome. So that just means they're going to run over the top of that. No problems whatsoever. This is what I'm after. That is going to be really cool. So that section will work nicely, I think, to say the least. And then we're going to drop off stuff over here. And are we just going to run the same train? I think we'll just run the same train so we can add more trains to the mix all the way, basically, all the way to the end here. Look at that. That's pretty cool. But what I would like to do is actually run this pretty quickly then. So let's see about actually upgrading this. I didn't think I was going to run an upgrade on this, but I will. Not that we're going to get at those speeds there. Tie that in. Oh. Hit the wrong sides. Good stuff. That corner is going to be a little problematic. Oh, and this thing is only going to be at 120, I believe, on that stretch. But I wouldn't mind running it pretty quickly through here. All good. Now, let's... the one thing that I want to do is just make sure that we are able to turn these things around, and we'll learn from past mistakes and have it done a little outside of the station. Okay. I will go ahead and add a bit of a signal, well, some signals in a few spots. You can just kind of run it at your leisure through all of these. All good, all good, all good. And that should work really well. Okay, now let's okay, the one thing that we will, however, need to do is just make sure you can actually get onto any one of these. If we do that setup over there, can we please do this one? Yeah, that's a nice little switch there. I like that. It's too close. If we have a long train, it's too close. So let's try and get it a little further away. Yeah, if it's a long train, it's going to be a problem. So let's try and do kind of something like that. 90 is not great. And then we'll do... Yeah, so this is a little awkward because that. So we can't go much beyond 320 here in terms of train length. Now, how are we going to get a train on here? We could bring a train in from the other side, and just all we'll need to do is make sure that we can allow the spur off on this side. So let's do that. Okay, that should do the trick. Elizabeth coal mine, that's okay. And what we'll also do, spur it off there, because that's actually what you want. There we go. So now we should be able to get a train on the line there from the depot. Oh, I love this. This is awesome. I love this. Some innovative little track work. I'm enjoying the track work component of the game a lot more these days. So what are we after? We are after you picking up some crude oil over there. Some crude oil over there, dropping it off over here, picking up the normal oil and taking it onto this way, and then coming in over here and dropping off some other stuff. Okay, so what we need to do is on this one where you're starting, you can go to either one, then at the Corpus Christi one, which is over here, you need to be on Terminal 2. Okay, and then at the Elizabeth Annex one, you need to be on Terminal 2. And then if you're going into Elizabeth Sidings, you can go to either one. And then to Elizabeth, you will be on that number 3 one there all the time. That's going to be it. So there we go. So that should be pretty straightforward. This is going to be the Elizabeth oil to fuel line. ELZ oil to fuel train. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Now we need a train on there ASAP. So our train, and we've got to be aware that we're doing a pretty decent job in terms of speeds. So what can we run? 140 seems quite reasonable, but we need something that's at 160, and this is quite a good one. Actually, we're going to run that guy. I'm going to go and give that a bit of a darker color, maybe just that coal kind of color there. We're going to run that guy, and we're going to run cargo wagons oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hang on. They are 120 only. That's not quite good then. Oh, that's mediocre. If we drop it there, it's good. So 300, 288 capacity. We're going to go ahead and buy just the one for the time being. We're going to assign that to the Elizabeth oil to fuel train, and we'll see how that works. That should be a pretty decent job at moving some stuff around. Now, we don't necessarily have all the areas covered, but I'll have a quick look at that. Oh, we should be doing a pretty decent job, actually, at generating some fuel requirements over there. Awesome. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. So get me that train on the way. I would love to see how we're doing with that. Probably waiting on a free... yeah, you're waiting on a free section. Oh, look at that. 1.6 billion. And we're probably doing just a fraction of what we should be doing. Can we get this guy running through here? Oh, look at this. Double decker. What is this guy? Sherpa. I don't think I've seen that. And another bus. And a Toronto something. This must be a... that's not a train. That must be a tram. Must be some kind of tram. Okay, so unfortunately the wagons don't allow us to run this train any quicker. That's unfortunate about this setup. But I am liking it. So will these things start? Ooh, they are. They are. Yeah. They are definitely. Oh, this was already running, of course. And now you're starting to see some stuff going on here. Awesome. So we're going to start adding some good fuel to the line here. And we should probably do a pretty similar thing with some of our other trains as well. Now let's just see it going in there. So now it goes all the way to the end through the tunnel there. Oh, I love this. Once this rail line goes on deck over the top of this, that would be awesome. And then we could even do, we can even bridge this road across. I'm almost tempted to do it now. It's almost at the end of the episode and just kind of tie it off a little bit. There's 44 fuel, oil there. Oh, look at this. How much is this? That's the entire train. Wow. And this one, how much on this? Almost nothing? That is quite interesting that is starting to suffer as much. But anyway, we'll see. This guy is not able to run much quicker than... Pretty nifty little viaduct stretch there. Coming around the corner here. As we add, we'll have to add more trains to this line, of course, I think. Okay, so it's going to pick up some stuff, 14 only. Then it'll fill itself up on the next one. I'm very sure it will. There's not even that much left, and there's a ton waiting. Yeah, absolutely. More than enough there. It's probably starting to disappear, if anything. Probably need to add some capacity through here. This thing is running 400. That thing can run 400, so we can certainly add another bit there. And this will upgrade pretty quickly. Let's just see this one in action. And I'm thinking about doing a little something over there just to finish off a bit of infrastructure work. Okay, so it's pretty pricey to run it empty in one direction, of course. But hopefully, because it's moving so many different things, we'll see it be quite profitable in the end. And a fair distance as well. There we go. Now this thing is going to start pumping out the crude, the refined oil. This setup, I must say, I'm so happy about what's happening over here. Supernatural. Now, it's a full load, right? It's not a full, oh no, it's a full load up to the previous one. Not a full load here, of course. There we go. This is going to start doing its thing. Wow, it had one ready straight away, huh? I'm going to go through there. Just want to see how this all works out. This is such an interesting little concept for me. I'm enjoying this station so much. Really efficient, I think, or effective. Nothing to drop off just yet. Going to head on back that way and do its thing. How much is... yeah, here it's starting to move along. So I think what we will need to do ultimately is just make sure that we'll add... Well, I think I'm going to add an extra train to that line, so we'll start moving a bit more. I can just basically click the line and duplicate the train. So if I do that, manage the vehicle, and all I want to do is clone this electric vehicle. So the next one should be on its way. It's obviously going to pop out over here as well, right? Yeah. And then hopefully between the two of them, they're going to move a fair bit of stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if that one is... Yeah, that one is a little bit far away. So what I would like to do... So we just like to... Once this is loaded, I just want to stop it a little bit until we wait for that one. So we just space them a little bit better. Loaded. Okay, stop it over there. I'm just going to wait for this guy to get into the station here, and then I'll switch that one on again. Or just as it comes up to the station here should be fine. Because there are multiple stops there actually. Okay, so I'll get it going, move along. Now it should be pretty timely in terms of what it's doing. Interesting that that one waited for this one. They probably because that's up to speed. It's just going to speed on through. Oh, well, actually, it's going to stop here. I do like it. It's awesome. Okay, what I'm going to do, well, I can keep running it that way. And what I'll do is I'm quickly going to redo this with, in the last few minutes, pretty decently lengthy episode. Just going to break that up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go here and we're going to say, oh, actually, no, tracks is what we're after. Now, of course, the big and quick track is to be here. What I want to make sure to do is not quite what I had in mind, but let's do that for a second. And what I want to do is just make sure that because what I'm going to try and do is get this thing to run at 300. There we go. That one runs at 300. Is it at different levels? No idea, but that is pretty cool. And now from here, of course, what we need to do is the stopping trains is less of an issue. If we do something like that, that's a pretty quick train off of the mark there. And what we'll also do is we'll try and get that one off pretty quick as well. Yeah, but 190 off the main line. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. Into there is absolutely awesome. Similarly, I'm okay with kind of pulling this one out. Roughly about that spot there. What? That's a 264. That's awesome. Look at that. Okay, so there we go. Definitely not going to turn it like this. Now, where are we actually going from there? We're definitely not coming over here. So what we're really doing is we're turning towards Lancaster over there at a super speedy turn of 300 kilometers an hour. That's the one. There we go. That's exactly what we're after. And now the final piece of the puzzle here is a little bit of a bridge connection that's going to run all the way from there into town. And that's going to be the connection to Lancaster anyway. Okay, so let's get that going. Things moving off. Yeah, some stuff is being dropped off. That is pretty cool. We will have a look at adding fuel to the other line as well. Yeah, I think they're pretty well spaced now. Pretty well spaced. We'll have a bit of a look there. I just want to quickly do this. Let's quickly finish off this. So if we are saying let's do a pretty decent style road in here. So let's try and do a big one. Okay. So if I'm going to say, guys, I'm going to upgrade the big one there. And that's okay, even if it is that. And what we'll do, we'll also trim that back a little bit. Ooh. Okay, so let's see how that works. But anyway, this is the plan. Okay, so let's do a bit of a curved connection. But I want to make sure that we are, in fact, going up, but at a pretty mild yeah, so we probably need to get a little bit more aggressive with it. Over there somewhere, and what I would like to do is, yeah, we'll do the fancy viaduct thingy. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to say yes, and then from here, what I would like to do is I'd like you to actually run. There we go. So that's the fancy viaduct structure across here. Probably went up a little quick, but anyway, we can see about getting some additional stuff working out there. And then from here, slightly curved. We'll end it up over there, and then we'll tie it in back down that way. And now the question is, actually, with this one, I'm pretty tempted to just run this one in this way anyway. So forget about connecting up that way. So what I do here, that was actually the rural highway component. No, give me the rural highway again. So let's do a little bit more of this here. Let's just upgrade it a little bit. Oh, actually, that's too much, maybe. And then from there, actually, let's just do this. There we go. So rural highway into a pretty wide bridge into town here. And this is 3 levels. So we've got a tunnel underneath, the high-speed rail at grade, and then a bridge, a very, very mild little bridge over the top there. And the last thing I wanted to do is just make sure that we continue to tie this guy in. Appropriately over here. Is that okay? Hang on. Forget about it. Bring this back a little bit. We'll tie it in on that side instead, just so that we, from a planning planning thing here. There we go. I'm liking that. That's pretty cool. So now this section over here could potentially be a little bigger. So let's go and upgrade this road so that if you're going to go and do that, you have a little bit more capacity through there. Interesting. Okay, guys, that's going to be the end of it. It's another very, very long episode, but I'm loving what we're doing over here. This is so natural compared to our thread the needle exercise that happened at the end over here. And ultimately, what we could, of course, do is we could just tunnel this road through here, through the entire stretch here. And that bridge is just for that section of rail. It could be a bit smoother too, doing it that way. But we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how that goes. What does our money look like? $1.7 billion. And I will see in the next one, we'll have a bit of a look at our performance just in general. But I think all of our lines are, well, not all of our lines, but I think many or most of our lines are doing a pretty decent job just in general. I can see a lot of stuff being moved over here. And I think some of these are doing a pretty decent job as well. We'll have to keep an eye on making sure everybody is getting their goods, and we maybe need to get the goods moving a little bit more effectively on the main line. And that's probably something we're going to have a look at in the next episode. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.